Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the ESL 1 New York Qualifier. It is the American region we are doing right now to see who will be able to advance themselves forward into the quarterfinals and play for that one spot. That's right, only America get a one spot. One spot is all they have from this qualifier to get themselves to ESL 1 New York. Of course, they join a whole bunch of invited teams as well, but this is where the other teams fight it out. So let's get ourselves into the game as I find my right button. There's my right button to send us into our draft, and I can welcome in my co-caster. He was with me throughout all of last night, and he's a glutton for punishment, so he's returned again. Ryu, SNA going up. I say SNA. I'm reading the names. Union Gaming going up against
There's
Mischief.
no SNA though.
There's no such thing as SNA. But yeah, so Sneaky Nick's Assassins who are tagged up because for those who don't know, the system isn't in Reborn, where you can create team profiles. Or even modify your official username.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is
things you learn every day, man.
problematic.
It is very problematic, especially when these teams are reforming and creating new personalities, new brands and stuff, or just making complete joke ones, and they can't actually make their profile. So, Mischief is tagged up as SNA, and Union Gaming, because not a single member of the original Union Gaming squad is still part of Union Gaming, are tagged up as Bromance Dota.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who these people are. I honestly don't know anyone.
Remaining.
If I look back through the histories, if I check all the histories of all the players inside of Union Gaming, we have almost no games on any of them apart from Union Gaming. The one person which flags as part of a different team is actually Haki. Which one of those players is Haki? That we don't know. Because I don't know if he's changed his name since then, but it's a player from Sweden that's meant to be tagged as part of their roster, and he was part of the Balkan Bears. But everyone else is a new kid on the block.
Yeah. So one person's from Europe. Maybe potentially even two.
Potentially one from Sweden.
Okay.
But that's if their roster is correct.
See if I can check pings. Nope.
Yeah.
Fail.
But it's their names aren't matching up to who they are. But our admin's having to worry about all that kind of stuff. We just worry about who qualifies through. Obviously, we're definitely going to say that Mischief is coming in here as a favorite to win this. I'll always favor a team with Ike's Micah in it, just because of the hatred you get if you don't. As well as me being a big fan of Ush. Like I really like the way he plays. I kind of wish he'd just find a little bit more stability in teams and his own play style.
Yeah, he's definitely been around the block. He tries. He's a really good carry and a mid player. He alternates between the 1 and 2 sometimes. But I think in this, he'll go mid because normally Justin plays carry all the time, no matter what. So that's a guaranteed. Ush will be playing mid. Mike off lane. Sumbi and Jubei are supports. And remember, the Sumbi plays 5. So I know this team to a T. At least the players. They play a lot of FPL together as well. So they've been definitely been playing a lot recently. So
it's up to Union Gaming to mix it up, is basically what we're saying right now. And maybe defeat the more well-known players. It's always a bright side when you come into games like this and no one has any idea what you do. So banning against them, drafting against them, you're just banning out what is normal. Like, something which you'll be a little bit frustrated by. Unless these guys have actually met themselves up in the met against each other in in-house leagues. That might be one way they know each other, and then they will have that insight onto some of their players.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they could scrim, or maybe they could potentially even watch scrims. Normally, everyone has it on private lobby, but I've seen some people keep it on though. It's kind of weird when they do.
There's only 2 games which have happened for Union Gaming since their new team is formed. Now, they played in the Nanyang qualifiers. So they got 1-0 by Fire Dota, where they ran this Lycan, Darkseer, Wyvern, Earthshaker, Templar Assassin combo. And they lost to a Tusk Techies. Poor bastards.
I mean, that's kind of not their fault, though. Tusk Techies.
It's problematic. I won't deny that one. And then they
Lycan
played a
probably
best
tried
of
to hold the
3.
game.
They played a best of 3 up against Cloud9, and Cloud9 2-0'd them. This was also Cloud9 with IXMike88 actually playing in that game. So he came in and was a substitution for Brax in Cloud9.
Okay.
So he's actually played up against this team before. And it looks like
they're too worried.
Yeah, they're running a
Radiant
slightly
team
different
pick.
lineup to what they had before. In fact, they're actually running a very different line to what they had before. Cookies wasn't part of that at all. So yeah.
Dire team pick.
It's yeah. We're just gonna have to see how they play now. Let's see who's the better team. I mean, yesterday we saw so many games where we thought it was over, and then all of a sudden, well, bam, enemy team comes back, and all of a sudden we have a game for the next 60 minutes.
That is true. If you did miss the games from last night, Rio and I we burnt past the midnight oil and started
10 seconds
yeah,
remaining.
we started like lapping in the sun rays. I literally walked home to sunrise.
5 seconds remaining.
But it was a great night. It was a great night at Dota.
Siren.
That was really good.
Radiant
Maybe
team
we
pick.
can get the same this time. So UG, they start with a Clockwork as well as a Wyvern. I'm never really gonna say that's a bad thing. The Skywrath Mage is a little bit out there, however. Like, I can understand the pick up against the Storm Spirit, but at the same time, if that Storm gets momentum, that Skywrath Mage is going to be food.
Yeah, I guess you could say the biggest thing is Wyvern and Skywrath each can counter Storm if he goes on
10
the other.
seconds
Like if he goes on
remaining.
Skywrath, then Wyvern can ulti. If he goes on Wyvern, then Sky
5
can silence him,
seconds
and then
remaining.
Storm could be pretty much in trouble. And also, they have a really good combination right now: Clockwork
Reserve
plus
time.
Sky, Hookkin, ulti. It's just bam, systematic.
Yeah.
And it depends on how Clock roams this game too. Like if he gets some fast levels, they can go mid, shut down the Storm, or is Storm going to go retreat to the jungle? And speaking of yesterday, we saw a Naga Siren core yesterday. I don't think it's going to be the case in this game, but the potential is still there.
It could happen. The split push of Bromance is pretty poor. Clockwork is not too bad at catching out heroes though when they're doing the split push, but catching out an illusion-based hero, that's not a pretty time.
Yeah, if Naga gets farmed, it looks right now at least like easy win for SNA in the later game.
And that's what Union Gaming have to start thinking about that. So how do you deal with Song of the Siren so you're able to survive once the initiation comes after Song of the Siren, or one way you can maybe even catch up to the Song of the Siren? And if this is a Naga core, throw it in the
10
back of your
seconds
mind,
remaining.
how do you deal with a split push? You've already got yourself an offlaner and 2 supports,
5
so we have to
seconds
look at a
remaining.
core, and they've only got 2 seconds on the clock, so they have to make a choice. And their choice is Shadow Fiend. Not bad for dealing with illusions,
Dire
not a
team
bad
pick.
laner. But they're definitely going to have to be on top of the stacks to keep him farmed up.
Yeah, and also he can clear waves fast too, and he can pressure towers really well. When he has his souls maxed, he has a lot of bonus damage, and that's what I was looking for. All these other heroes are like get kills around the map, but they don't have that much wave clear. They can't really kill the towers, so this does help them. It's also a good
10
mech carrier if
seconds
they want to get
remaining.
really up in their face early game, and it's an
5
all-around good
seconds
pick here.
remaining.
Yeah. He also gives me that team fight I was searching for. So just trigger
Reserve
BKB
time.
after Song of the Siren goes and wind up your ulti and let it go. And that's when Mischief won't be able to
Yeah.
fight. It's gonna be difficult not to call him SNA.
It really is. I already said SNA twice, and I tried to venture on to say Mischief.
Most of these guys were in SNA. I think like what are we missing? Like Fluff? Is that it? Like,
Was TC in there too?
yeah, TC was an S.
TC.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was Fluff and TC that stuck together, and then they had. Oh god, what was the old SNA roster? IXMike88 was in that one. I think
Wasn't
Ush was in it before the D2CL
Korok?
finals.
No. Alright.
I don't remember
Radiant
Korok
team
being in it,
ban.
but Ush,
No.
Ush was in it until he got replaced. And then they brought him back. So, welcome to Dazzle, one of the heroes with the poorest win rate at TI5.
Poor guy.
He really is a poor guy, but at the same time, man, I've seen some fantastic games with
Dire
him.
team
It was
ban.
just a rough tournament for him. Too many teams get used to playing against him.
He's just really weak early on. Like he's suffers from zoning out the enemy offlaners, and you can see how much space the offlaners can get. Earthshaker, Tusk, and Clockwork. They just pull the creep wave back, and they can do whatever they want. And then Dazzle doesn't have like a stun, so you can't really dive these heroes.
He's an enabler for everybody else he plays with, or is a burst combo hero. That's kind of Dazzle.
And I'm getting Cart said his win rate at TI was 46.9%. That's
which is pretty poor.
It's not good at
all. I think it was I remember looking through the stats that were because I looked it up after Sir Sykes referred to it in his video, and Team Secret had something like a 36% win rate with it, so it was even lower for them. And we get a Phantom Assassin, not a hero we see a lot. And not a hero I think is going to function very well up against this lineup of Mischief. Like there's too much control on him.
I don't know if you heard of it, but I said, like, in a 1v1 situation with, like, max items, I said PA was, like, my #2 hero.
Really?
I said Void was... Yeah, it's because... I don't know, I guess I'm just a fan of the crits, and I love Basher on her, or Abyssal. I just feel like she just can lock down heroes, but I could take it back. I could look at other heroes like Naga, Syllabear can have 12 slots. I mean, I looked at it again when I said it, and it's like, yeah, there's different heroes. Illusion-based heroes can do really well against her. But, oh boy.
Okay, that Skywrath Mage is dead. Like, just putting it out there right now. Cookies is going to have the worst game of his life in this game. The Clinks loves
Watch him go 12-0. And then you eat your words.
The Skywrath Mage going 12-0? If he does, I will be quite happy to eat my words. I will be very surprised if that's possible. But I'm just looking at Mischief's draft at the moment, and they've got like good rotation for pickoff. They've got ways they can pull in and out of lanes. I'm interested to see exactly what the lanes will be, if this is a support Naga and an offlane Earthshaker, judging by the fact that Ike's Mike 88's on that Earthshaker. It looks like it's an offlane Earthshaker. But they could get away with a power leveling up.
10 seconds
then
remaining.
When you actually have Union Gaming ready to fight, they all have Song of the Siren. Because Clinks will rotate out of the laning and give the Naga space to find his levels. So I'm really uncertain about this lineup from UG.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah. You know what's not even a too far-fetched idea is to go aggro with Union Gaming. I mean, Clinks is got to be one of the weakest level 1s, along with kind of Dazzle in a way. Sure, you have the heal and the shallow grave, but I mean, you have Skywrath and Wyvern. These heroes can put out so much DPS early on, and then you have PA who can blink in or just kite around, and then you have the dagger for the slow. So potentially they could win it, and then Clock versus ES. I think Clockwork wins that. So that could have been one of their approaches, but you don't want to. You could get a lot done with Clockwork just in the off lane because he's on the Radiant side, and he has a lot of potential just to block the creeps and get some levels. But the reason why I'm talking about Clockwork right now so much is because it's all on him. He's the only lockdown until Wyvern gets 6. So he has to make so much space for his team, I feel, this game.
Yeah, but how hard is that going to be? Make space when... Like, if he can't find the early levels, then Storm's going to have his level 6. So the space which he does create will instantly be taken away. Song of the Siren will do the same kind of thing. And if you do get initiation, Dazzle will probably be there as well. But looks like we're going to have a little bit of a skirmish up on the top lane. Well, it's a nice Cogs grabbing 3 together. But at the same time, there was 3 together, which means Dazzle gets the burst heal. He'll find the first pickoff. There was a revenge kill after it, and they're forcing Naga Siren out. But the Searing Arrow is burning away at the SF, and they're not going to walk through the double remnants. So who got the bounties?
If he had gotten a 3-man Cogs pushback, that would have been great. I don't know about the trap, though. That kind of sealed the deal. I think it cost them. But first blood, or still there is a kill trade for the Shadow Fiend, so he just got his bottle. So that's really good.
I apologize as well. We had some frame loss at the start of that fight. So 1 minute he was there, 1 minute he was gone on my screen. But hello, Reborn.
That Dazzle heal bomb just annihilated him.
That's why the 3-man Cogs was not a good thing. And Ike's Mike 88's can be happy. He managed to pick up that 100 rune. But he might have himself a bit of a rough time up against his Phantom Assassin.
Yeah. he has to be worried too, because this is one of the heroes that can catch out Mike pretty easily. And if they have a silence to make sure he doesn't cast a fissure, he can go down really easy. But they're just going to be putting all the support mid lane just to shut down Ush, which isn't a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea. The issue they're going to have is the fact that Ush is still keeping up with CS, and once he got that bottle, it won't really matter. But the upside is the fact they're actually bringing Sunbeam into this mid lane, so we can't just walk back and stack inside the jungle for the Storm Spirit to farm up a little bit later. So they're kind of hampering that a little bit. Like, I'm waiting for this last heal to come in, and then him just to move up and go for the stack.
And they already did stack one time for Shadow Fiend too, so they've been playing really well so far. Getting everything down to a T, I want to say, in this mid lane, except for Shadow Fiend missing some easy last hits. He only has 5, where Storm has 9. He's getting babysat too, so it's kind of weird to see that happening.
Just an impatience. He just burnt himself off twice on cogs. Because he just wanted to walk up the hill, didn't get the timing right for when the cogs would dissipate. So he's only got himself 4, maybe 5 searing arrows at this point up against the Clockwork. Which isn't enough. He needs more regen. He's got the Sage's Mask at least, but until he's got the Ring of Aquila and some other things up his sleeve, he's not going to feel comfortable at all.
Probably see him rush for a Soul Ring then at this point, because, well, the thing is you have to let Storm get your bottle. But let's see. Yeah, you got the Soul Ring recipe on the courier, so that's a good idea to have that. And Mike, looking at him, he's level 3 already. And he's almost got his Tranquils. This is huge for him. Clockwork.
He just keeps doing this. Like, it's just this fissure move which is able to block up the creep wave. Clockwork's doing the same thing up on the top lane. But it's the way for these, like, you're talking about it before. Like, what do you do as a Dazzle when you're so passive you can't dive under the tower when Shaker and Clockwork just keep pulling the lane back every time?
Should be good for him now. Clockwork should be catching up to Mike in levels. But see, they did it where Mike did block the wave, but their creep equilibrium's easy to sustain, whereas Clockwork, he did the pull block in, which is so broken in my mind, but I don't know. It's in the game, and it's really good and effective. You just use everything to your... use everything that you have and just use it. I mean, I'm trying to say is where you have the block and you just go for it. Man, words is hard to say.
Don't worry. If it helps you, I'll use less.
No, I need to use less words too.
Alright, so Clinks is getting a huge amount of farm up on top. It's only a matter of time before he gets level 6, and then Death Pact will allow him to efficiently move through the jungle. I'm seeing Nagasaran only at level 3, but she'll get some decent space up against this Clockwork once Clinks goes for a rotation. This will force the Clockwork to also go on a rotation, because he has to help out the supports of Union Gaming, who are the lowest on the board right now. Like, the Dazzle's pretty low anyway. He's still sitting just over 2.5. But the Skywrath Mage, as well as Wyvern, having both of them so low, does not help. Yeah, they're going on Ush, but Ice Mike gets here with a Fissure, so he's going to already get that stun into Cookies. And Ush, that raise! I don't think it's going to bring him down that low, but it's a level 3 raise going to work. But they don't find the kill, Union Gaming.
They are keeping Storm from his level 6, which is a good thing. Skywrath Mage, though, still not level 3. If he had that silence, I think he could have helped deal enough damage with the extra boost to magic. So, meanwhile, when you were talking about Clockwork top lane, I feel for him because they got net on Naga, and as long as Justin gets level 6, it'll take maybe 4 or 5 shots once he has a creep eaten. And yeah, he needs to play really careful.
Alright, so if you're SNA, if you're Mischief right now, what's the timing we're searching for? Like, what's their objective? Is it meant to be the rotation for kills? Or do you feel because you got someone like a Clinks, you should be taking out tier 1 towers very early on?
Probably give space to the Naga. That's what they're going to do. Justin's going to go rotate around once he's got this level 6. He's probably going to wait for his items on the courier, and then he's going to rotate over and just let one of the supports farm. And then he's going to try to get kills maybe on the Shadow Fiend Or, yeah, I don't even think they can get kills on PA yet until maybe Earthshaker has the Echo Slam up.
He's getting there. Problem is getting in range as well for the Echo Slam. Ush managed to pick himself up a haste rune, so he's going to move up and take the stacks. So this will give Earthshaker the space to farm mid lane. The Fissure's, okay, it's not going to last long enough to actually give him the high ground advantage too. But this is going to power level up the Dazzle. Ush almost dying from this, in fact. With the haste rune, he can run away fast enough that he survives. He can just kite out the creeps. But he goes up to 7.5 as Dazzle will crack his 4. There's really good money coming in for the Storm more than anything else.
They just realized that they can't make any plays with the haste rune. Just like, alright, well, we're just going to go back and farm. It's really hard to gank the Shadow Fiend when they keep on sitting behind him mid the whole entire time. And they just keep stacking and stacking. You can maybe make a kill on the Clockwork and pressure the tier 1 tower, but that's not as efficient. Because they can just clear out the stacks, give those levels over, and
maybe
Storm?
their only option though.
Yeah.
Like what else are you gonna do? You need to get some kind of level of injection of money into your team because you want to be having Clinks with some early items. Like he's going in for the Medallion of Courage, so maybe Roshan is actually something else we should be looking at. Obviously Medallion's gonna help it for the ganks anyway, but you need to find money in for Ush so we can build up something like an Orchid and have some level of control. Right now he goes after the Wyvern, but that Gremlin's going to keep this vision up and then just chasing it. Requiem Assault's going to pop out right now, and Ush, no man to really jump out of here. The Storm Spirit does find the kill, but the SF with the raise and a little bit of a help from PA also goes to work, but there's your Echo Slam from Hikes Mike 88. Just walks in and crushes the Shadow Fiend. Dazzle still has his Shallow Grave as Phantom Assassin considers going after this, but it's not really the best position for him to do so. So they'll let it go.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't worth the trade, but after the Shadow Fiend for the Storm, as well as the Wyvern going down, in the end, for sure it's worth it. But they didn't take the stacks. There was one shown. Ooh, I thought Ush might TP bottom.
Yeah. They saw it, but there's no reason to really worry about it. Because you've still got Clinks farming up on the top. You've still got a whole bunch of stacks of your own. And jumping in there to take it, like, if they had an Observe Ward and left it behind, that might have been better. So then they could try and contest it when it happens.
Yep, Sunby had a ward, but they had no time. They kind of had to back out, so didn't have any time to place one deep in the jungle. And yeah, maybe they should go on another smoke, but that would, if they don't get the ward down or they run into somebody without an Echo Slam or don't find anyone, it's kind of just wasted time.
That Medallion up, I didn't see how much Skywrath Mage had, but I saw one searing arrow go into him and he was at half-life then. So, as we said previously, Cookies this is not his game. He'll probably have to accept the fact he'll die in almost every single engagement. As now they move the Naga Siren onto this top lane. This is what I was waiting for. This movement into level 6, get her a TP scroll at all times, and try and fly as close to your tier 1 tower as possible so Song of the Siren can just be brought in at the right times. And Clinks, well, he'll get the vision. This means he'll also leech a little bit of the experience. He can Death Pact one of these creeps if he wants to, and then attack, but with the Wyvern standing nearby, they're really not sure about this. In fact, he just tries to last hit it out. Was successful at doing so too. He actually got that Centaur.
Cheeky. And then now he's gonna go scout out. Oh, he just missed the courier. Could have got that kill.
Instead,
now he's gonna scout out to the Clockwork, and he's gonna get a creep here if he's in range. Is he in range? No, he's not.
He's trying.
I
think he realizes he's not in range. He has to attack to bring him in closer, and that just reveals the fact his position's there. But he's not legging it for the courier. He sees the courier, but he can't reach the courier. Not without dying. This early rotation not really happening the way he would hope. Clockwork, actually going to hook shot in. There is a whole bunch of illusions of the Dazzle, and the Splinter Blind's actually going to work against him. The battery itself is going to make it impossible to run away. In the meantime, though, the Storm Spirit is on the way down. They've already used one of their races, not a lot of mana on the SF. But having 4 heroes there, it doesn't make any sense to try and have a play. That's Mischief to try and go for more.
Let's see how many evasions they get on bottom. Justin's looking to set up here. There it is.
That's a long jump. That's a very long jump. And with Medallion of Courage, they're actually able to hold the Phantom Assassin in position, keeping him alive with that Cold Embrace. But I still had enough mana left for one more Remnant and a couple attacks once the Cold Embrace wore off.
Yep. If you didn't have Soul Ring there, that could have been problematic. But having enough mana, Klink's doing a lot of DPS, and why we're not level 6, sealing the fate.
Clockwork's going to get up in the face of Naga Siren. Wondering just how much harassment she can do back. Having arcane boots mean you can just spam like Riptide all the time, as long as you don't mind pushing the lane down too far.
Look at Shadow Fiend. He's going for the Yules. He wants to one-shot people.
Is that even going to work though?
Yeah, you'll one-shot the Storm. Even if you have Bloodstone, you can still one-shot him. You have to time it perfectly. Justin though, looking, scouting.
He came in and stole one of the big satyrs. He's not in range of any Observer Ward, however, and now cookies. Justin would love it, but he ain't getting no cookies.
If he was up there 2 seconds earlier, he would have got cookies though.
Yeah.
Just so close.
He was too busy grabbing himself a big creep. And still no real pressure from him. Like, he's moving around and showing himself here and there. Most of the work has been done by these long jumps from Ush. And now, well, okay, Greed, the fissure, they need to just hold him there a little bit longer. They'll lose the Earthshaker, but it's a 1-1 trade off the Earthshaker for the Clockwork. Level 8 versus level 7, so I'm not going to say it's a favorable advantage here for, damn their name.
Union Gaming.
No, it's not even Union Gaming. I'd say it's not a favorable matchup for Mischief.
Yes. All right.
Bloody.
It was pretty good for Wyvern though. He got the solar.
Oh, cookies.
On B2.
Goodbye, cookies. Like, somebody's going to die, but it's 3 hours. That's all required. The Yule Scepter can't do the work. He's going to try and pop him. There goes your Requiem of Souls, but Justin just too tanky. They have to curse him as well. TP support's in the way, and he cannot escape out in time. The dust is already triggered. That's why it's revealed and allowed for those last hits to come in. It ends up being a 2-for-1 trade-off, but you commit both Curse and Requiem for that.
Yeah, they just got the core, the pesky core down. Definitely worth it there for Union Gaming. About to say Mischief. Dang. And Clockwork's getting even more space once he gets his Blade Mail up. This is going to be looking really good for them. Yule's Scepter's already been working out the first time, and he's already up to 1,300 gold.
It's good farming for an SF. I never really am sad to see a Yule Scepter. Like, it's great regen, it's a nice early disable which doesn't cost too much, and you get good movement speed to move across the map. It's like everything you really want to have in a support hero, but in the SF's case, it works very, very nicely for him to have some early aggression.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting something like
really
like getting the mech on the Shadow Fiend, that's going to be massively defensive because the mech, like, just to use the charge costs so much.
Oh, Hush. Yeah, I love the Yule's build too. I love watching Shadow Fiends play aggressive. Either the Blink Dagger or the Yule's. Well, he'll normally get a Blink Dagger afterwards too, but it's still nice to watch it. He's got a Haste Rune too, and scouting out. Too bad. And this is also a good counter for any Orchids that are coming out. You can just Yule's yourself or Yule's the other person and get away. And Justin, he's still trying to hunt this Shadow Fiend, but he's not going to be able to kill him because of the Yules.
Oh, he's got help coming in. Yeah, his entire team smoked up. They ran in front of the tier 1 tower. Now Storm Spirit's going to jump in. You still got cookies here, but how much damage? Oh, yeah, as you said, not enough, and a perfect curse. Follow-up hookshot as well. It's going to isolate the Clinks. The Fidget doing some serious work, however. Justin needs more time, and he just does not have it for the heal to come in from Zombie. Now he's also going to take it forward with the Battery Assault, stopping his retreat out. The thing which was going to keep him alive would be the Song of the Siren, but he was out of range. The attack was already flying through the air. And they'll TP'd themselves away to safety. Max Mike 88 may not be so lucky. That's a Haste Runed SF who could just use him up and then get in position for a kill if he wants to dive. But he will not. He'll let it go and now picks up a Blink Dagger to go with that Yule Scepter.
Yeah, I was skeptical at first of Union Gaming, but so far they've been playing really well, and I just love what they've been doing around the map. Shadow Fiend's just gotten so many stacks. I don't know. He's got up to 130 CS right now. They stack constantly for the first 8 to 10 minutes. And they counter ganked everything so far perfectly. So let's see if they can keep up the counter ganks.
It's going well. If you actually check out the gold graphs pretty quickly, like it's a big repair. Like, that's that's a lot of money. That's 3,500 in the net worth being repaired. Even though, like, it seems when these fights are not happening, that Mischief is still getting themselves in front. Like, they're still able to find most of the farm across the map. These stacks are doing wonders, but yeah, Mischief is still picking up enough across the map. They're keeping up. The SF is definitely far ahead. But that might also just tell us another thing, that there's maybe a little less coming into the rest of the heroes over on UG.
Poor Cookies, though. He just got level 6, so that's going to be something good they can look forward to. Now having the Mystic Flare online. Now him and Clockwork, they can do whatever they want. They have Smoke ready, they have Blade Mail ready. This is go time for Union Gaming. They're super strong right now.
The only issue is they're in the wrong position for this. There's an Observer Ward watching them very close. In fact, you actually look at the perimeter of the Observer Wards. They're going to find the one gap in between it all to smoke up. Inside their own jungle. There wasn't much chance of that working, but not much of a chance. It's still a chance. It still worked. And now they make their play. They're coming after the Clink, so the blink up. They go into the Yule Scepter. No need for a Requiem. That Clink's is dead. They triggered the Dust as well. Also not required. But they get the kill on the Clinks, and this means now Roshan move time. And they'll do this very, very quickly.
Yeah, notice he waited. I've seen this time and time again where Phantom Assassins, they use their Stifling Dagger at the same time as their Blink Strike, and they only get the Stifling Dagger off. So he waited and then perfectly used it, maximizing your DPS, because they still look like they would contest. They have no song.
No, there's no song. The Weave got vision, but Ush was too late. Like, he needed to be there a lot earlier, so he then could ball lightning in and get himself back out. But that would have been their only real hope.
Top tower has fallen.
But at the same time, Union Gaming were watching that. They have the Observer Ward down, hence they see Ush, and there's that Cogs to Mystic Flare, combining with the Curse to ensure there was no jump out. What level is that Mystic Flare? So the Curse is, sorry, Ancient Seal is level 2.
It would have been close.
Yeah.
Could have been close.
So they just go for the extra insurance by dropping the Curse as well.
He had a Soul Booster. I would have done the same thing. Securing a kill on the Storm Spirit before his Bloodstone. This is pretty good.
Well, now they move into something else. That's going to be the bottom tier 1 tower. Looks like Ike's Mike 88. He was playing the core, so getting a Blink Dagger now 18 minutes in on an Earthshaker. It's probably not the greatest thing you're hoping for, but it's definitely needed. Like, if Mayhem want to have, sorry, Mischief, the other end, actually want to try and fight back in this, they need to have a real big wham bam and with no thanks.
Yeah, they really only have one AoE if you want to think about it too, and then that's the Echo Slam, whereas on the other side, Union Gaming, the Winter's Curse, the Requiem, they have so much setup. Once they get a BKB, the Echo Slam, oh, Ush.
He'll survive through this. That one pop isn't enough yet. Even with a max ult, Song of the Siren will be used. Clockwork sitting on the edge of this with Hookshot still up and running. But they're just leaving. Like, Mischief have no desire to try and fight this at all.
I wonder if that was the maximum damage potential. I mean, I'm not an expert on the Yule Scepter combination, but I've seen it do a lot more damage than this. I think you have to stand exactly... Oh, the hook shot.
Yeah, he's managed to find the Clinks. Is there a 4-star for a Fissure? Maybe he can push out. 3-man Fissure stun. The Yule Scepter, the Dazzle trying to stop his Shallow Grave at least, but he'll end up dropping. Gets the weave off before death, but his Clink's legging it away. Now the dunk comes in from Ike's Mike 88. Ush going to turn himself around, but Rocky able to get the perfect curse over on Ush. The Storm Spirit's still going to jump after him. They do find that pickup. The Cogs try to keep Ush back out. Enough mana to jump back past that tier 1 tower. So a lot of committal coming out here from Union Gaming, but they didn't have everyone there. The PA is still farming up what is probably going to be the remainder of the Battle Fury. In fact, has the Battle Fury now. Just needs to buy it up from the side. And yep, done.
So much space. Like, that Wyvern Curse, holy cow. I thought he was dead for sure. Definitely turning around. It didn't help keeping him alive, but definitely making a show of like, hey, we can make big plays too in this game. They're looking really good. Once the PA has a BKB and the Shadow Fiend, you just have, I don't know. It's going to be really hard for this Storm Spirit to get kills on the core. It's going to be on Mike, and it's going to be on the Naga Siren. We talked about it earlier, you and I. the Song of the Siren has to be on point, and they have to maybe find a way to isolate one of the cores with it.
But so far, every Song of the Siren has been defensive. There hasn't been one aggressive setup with a Song of the Siren. Or even when they reset, like there is no reset. It's a Song of the Siren to escape and run away. Nothing more than that. So they're not going to find kills with that. They're just going to like drag out the game, and you're dragging out the game against a flash farming SF and a PA that now has a Battle Fury and a full helm of the Dominator. So you could be looking at other creeps to keep eyes on Roshan, and that's something too which Sneaky Nick's Assassins, aka Mischief, haven't been able to claim yet. One, because it was already taken from them when they lost their Clinks, and two, it's the fact they lost the Clinks. He's not finding enough money to finish up this Desolator, so even if he wants to come in and try and solo up Roshan, he can't do it. And you're supposed to be winning your tower trade-offs as well. Now it's just a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade. This is,
and the worst part is
the game.
He still needs to get a, after his he still needs to get a BKB on Clinks and an MKB for the PA. He's not even close to any of that.
Is Justin coming down for the courier?
I thought so.
It looked like that. Like he's gonna get used Death Pact again, but no. So he's just instead checking for stacks. Asher's gonna TP himself off that top lane, feeling problems are coming, and definitely does not want to lose any of these Bloodstone charges.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
I'm just looking at Justin too now.
Yeah.
All eyes are on him.
He's got an observable which helped him know when Union Gaming try and rotate back over for him, but he's just not finding any openings. It's just too smart from Union Gaming. They're moving exactly the opposite side. I don't know if they're smart if they're reading it well, or if they're just getting bloody lucky, but it's wasted a lot of time with this Clinks. Now he's actually moved down to the 4th highest net worth. The guy who's having practically free farm on top lane now has 8.3k net worth to the 12,000 of the SF and the over 10,000 of the PA.
Over here now.
Yeah, a lot of space was given to the Naga, but he wasn't able to find any of the kills. That's when this strategy doesn't work out. But look at what they're doing. 3,800 gold on Naga. Yep. They're like, all right, we know this is going to go late game. We know we don't have enough cores to beat out a PA and SF, so why not add a Naga to the mix with a Radiance and adding their own flash farm?
And this is where they get, whoa, Echo Slam from Mike. They're able to kill off at least the Skywrath mate, but can they find more with the help of Justin? Yes, they can. The Phantom Assassin will get picked off. The committal again of the Echo Slam, but they're perfectly alright with this. Especially when the Dazzle can now find some space so he can have some level of items on himself as well.
2 more Bloodstone charges on Storm, and we've seen what this hero can do with maximum amount of Bloodstone. Instant respawn, zipping everywhere, mana regen for days, and he's going. It looks like Ush is going for a Linken's. I think this is a Linken's.
Linken's would make sense.
Yeah, I don't think Sheep makes sense right now.
Because what if you got to prop the Linken's? Like you want to prop the Linken's and then you can go for the curse.
Yeah, I mean, Stifling Dagger is really good against Linken's though. Like if they're sieging or something, you can just keep on breaking it.
True. But well, what's his other option then? Going in for a Scythe of Vice if he's not going to go for the Linken Spear. Oh. It's BKB wind up. SF.
There it is.
Yeah, there's your instant pop you were talking about.
I knew I wasn't crazy, Toby. I knew it.
But that's a level 3 ulti, not the level 2.
That's level 3. That's right. Never mind. Maybe it is. You have to be level 3.
But that removes the Bloodstone charges. Storm's now down to 6. As Clinks, he's playing in the tree line with the Clockwork. Clockwork doesn't know this. And in fact, Storm Spirit's now TPing himself forward. They're going to go for a long jump. They got Wyvern as well as Clockwork here. So Clockwork hookshots in, buys himself some time. The blade melts. Oh, Justin's practically killing himself on it, but they do still find the 2-hero pick-off. And they're moving in deeper. The Blink Dagger away from the SF will keep him alive. It can't be long until Roshan as well. Looks like they still haven't fixed that clock. Actually, maybe they have, because that clock's gotten further than I remember it getting.
But doesn't it feel like it's been dead for like 6 minutes?
It really does. Like, it really does. That's why. Okay, so Roshan respawns in 2 minutes.
Okay.
So unless he's got instant respawn time, yeah, the clock is still broken. That would then mean that Roshan's also on, if we assume the clock is broken, he's on max spawn time. Either way, it looks like Mischief now take out the tier 2 tower. They're losing their tier 2 on bottom lane. The creep wave is doing most of the work. The PA is definitely helping it out. And here comes that TP to stop it, and it will be a blink away. Ike's Mike 88 is the man to come in, and he's actually looking at the PA, realizing it's not like an anti-mate. There's no normal blink away, and actually blinks up, and Phantom Assassin force up has to go the Echo Slam to cancel the TP out, and then the long jump in, the hop skip, and PA will end up, yeah, we go, dying. Managed to dodge up a little bit. Didn't get her Alpha Wolf out to safety either, so easy money come in the way of Mischief.
That was incredibly high-skilled plays from both the PA and the Earthshake. Having the Alpha Wolf there for kiting purposes, juking, and then Mike having the force staff. If he did not have that force staff, he would have got juked. Shadow Fiend.
Quality. Quality with a fringe of style. It was a little too easy for him. I like how too now Union Gaming are dropping down sentry wards. Like they threw one down the mid just to see if they can find the Clinks coming in at the wrong time for the Clinks. Roshan is still another 46 seconds away, so they'll have to wait longer for that. So just before our 28-minute mark, Roshan will be back. But with the Desolator as well as now a Demon Edge is over on the Clink. So Justin's finding his damage. Earthshaker with a 4-star means that this Clockwork hookshot in may not be anywhere near as effective as he'd really hoped. Dazzle's even managed to find level 11, so that's a level 2 weave he's going for, and he's pure support. Like, we have Battalion of Courage, Heal, and Shallow Grave, and that's 4-4, like it's a 0-4-4-2 build coming out from this Dazzle. He's all about keeping everyone else alive.
Yeah, poison touches him. Anything this game, he doesn't even need to get it. And you can't really zone out the Clockwork early on, so there's really no point in getting it. Oh,
PA's dead. There's nowhere to jump. Ush, you have space to jump. The Fish is going to come. The Vortex him back, and the Phantom Assassin will end up dying. He's got no friends to help him. Ush, fit it. Yeah. Again, RNG plays a part. But he had no friends because the rest of Union Gaming smoked up for top lane. So they came for first kills and then tier 2. And Roshan is alive now, so Clinks really wants to get in here and take this nice and quick. Let the tier 2 tower go for Roshan. That's an acceptable loss.
And looks like Ush will be picking it up. That'll help against these bombs, and he'll also have the Lincolns after this. So trading a Roshan for a tier 2 is going to be good for them. They might lose on the map control a bit, but Ush needs to stop getting one-shotted by the Shadow Fiend.
And anything you lose in the map control, we still have to remember we're running a Naga Radiance. So you lose a little bit of map control, but you look at the mid and the top, it was pushed in by the Naga Illusions. In fact, they started creep skipping at some point, so it just makes life easy. Greed, real troubles for him inside the Dire Jungle. Gonna force stuff up into the Cogs. The Echo Slam from Mike will reach him. And the Fish is keeping back out Cookies. He's going to force up himself away from the SF, who blinks down, chasing him, but the Shallow Grave is up. The Yule Scepter up as well. All he wants is just one attack to make this worth it, but the heal bomb, it kicks in. Finally, the Wyvern comes in from the side. They really want the SF. They don't care about the Wyvern. They want core kills. Requiem of Souls winds up, and Ush this time will survive. He had the Aegis more to ensure he would survive too.
That was a double ulti too, right on top of him. Well, almost on top of him. Yep. He still didn't die.
And that's problematic for the SF. He's down to 18 souls now too. And the Naga Siren takes out the bottom tower, instantly into the Song of the Siren. I mean, you got the Clinks nearby, but yeah, they're not going to go for that. It's a straight TP out after securing the tower. Now up to 2100 gold over on this Naga. And goes directly into BTs.
Yep, I love this build. Get the arcane boots first, help out as a support, then you transition to that radiance, and then you get the boots of travel, and then now you can get the Octarine core. Perfect itemization so far from him, and well, one thing you want to say the most about this game is that PA. Like, if there's anything that's gone wrong, it's PA on Union Gaming. He hasn't found the BKB farm. He has enough for his Mithril Hammer right now, but he's still lacking 1300 gold for it. And it was looking really good for them, but 0-4, getting shut down, it's really setting them back.
It really is. You definitely do not want to be looking at that graph. And you just see how much of an advantage they held and how much they've lost just in the last 10 to 15 minutes, it's disastrous for them. Like, they've still got the SF as the top net worth, but he's going to get to a point soon where he's going to just have no one else around him. Almost like what happened in that fight in the Dire Jungle. Like, it starts up, your Clockwork gets picked off nice and early, so you don't initiate already. You blow most of your ultimates, and then as an SF, you're the last one running out of there.
They just need to find a way to get PA back in this game. Whether
It's so
that's
hard.
they get a kill.
Now that you got a Monkey King Bar as well over on this Clinks, like the PA's evasion is not going to help, and there's your jump in. The weave's going to start already, and it's going to be Rocky Balboa, the man in trouble. The Fissure and Glimmer Cape actually going to keep him invis for half a second because that Sentry Ward's already down. So they have perfect vision of the Wyvern, and the armor has just been stripped from him. He's negative 21 when that medallion was thrown on him. And you've still got the Aegis Immortal for Ash to work with. It's almost like he wants to die to get his mana back up, or at least force out some initiation. Ice Mike 88 starts it up, having that Echo Slam, and Ash able to finish the job. So 2 heroes lost again. Mischief gets away with just these easy pickoffs for no collateral damage.
Yeah, the core heroes of Union Gaming had to have been saying back, back, back. Wyvern just died. And then they kind of sat there for a good 5-6 seconds. Just like, well, we don't know what to do. Let's go in, let's go in.
Yeah.
Kind of hurts them there.
It really does, because now they don't have buybacks on these heroes. They have to use Fortification, and Ush jumps in deeper. Remember, this Aegis Immortal is still timing out in just over a minute. And when Justin moves to the front lines, that damage into buildings is just so high. And they can rotate towards the bottom if they feel confident enough. The Clockwork's going to come back up. You don't have Echo Slam available, but you've got Glimmer Capes also up and running as, well, goodbye Sunbee. Hopefully he'll come back. But you got that Glimmer Cape for the Earthshaker. Not a lot of mana on him, so he's practically just a fissure and relies on Soul Ring to get a little bit more. But having the Clinks and that Aegis the Immortal, like, to me it seems like a perfect ticket to stay where they are.
Yeah, they have Dazzle, Heal, Fissure, and Song. Like, there's so many get out of jail free cards, as well as the Aegis. Like, they don't have to be scared of anything.
Even the Storm Spirit, 13 Bloodstone charges, you can guarantee he's going to be picking up another 2 before he dies. And that will basically mean he respawns in like 5 seconds.
It's just... Yep, they missed their window. This is what happens when PA gets picked off constantly. Just too squishy.
Which is funny considering PA got such a great start. Like,
yeah.
But never got to that last item you said, like that BKB never arrived.
That's the most crucial item on PA. She's the squishiest, one of the squishiest carries, and going for Battle Fury and Helm of the Dominator is good and all, but normally how you farm your BKB is with like a huge Ancient stack, like 5 stack, and then you just get items, and then maybe getting Roshan and securing that for your PA, which they did get Roche, the first Roche on Union Gaming, but it was given to the SF, right? And or am I correct on this? Or there's only one Roche?
Yeah, it's only been... No, there was 2. Yeah, because they gave it up because the Storm Spirit didn't jump in. Yeah, that was the first one.
Alright.
Yeah, but yeah, they gave it to the SF. Clinks. Okay, that Charlotte Graves going to do some work for him. At the same time, SF winding up at the back line. There's going to be enough damage to kill off Sunbee. They do lose the Clinks as well. And the Song of the Siren can't get him out of this one. Ash is just beating into the range rack. So the Song of the Siren is controlling the PA so he can't do anything about it. And now Ash will jump himself away as quick as he possibly can. It almost looked like he was trying to deliver in the Shiva's Guard, but he's missing the plate mail for that one. And I hope for Ash's sake that Aegis Immortal's a little bit longer left on it, because they're going to come in and probably pick him off right now. And yep, there triggers the Aegis Immortal. Ike's Mike's the neighborhood, but he doesn't really have much apart from a fissure to throw out. It stops the TA from attacking straight away. 4-stars up Ash, so he's going to have to survive through the seal, but it's just not possible. So the PA ends up killing off the Storm Spirit. That fissure from Ike's Mike did not make enough space.
Yep, but she bought back, so now she still doesn't have enough for BKB. Oh, it's just tough sledding for her. And they already lost the racks.
I was about to say it was worth it for the kill, but with the melee racks going down, yeah, this is going to become a rough life, because you don't even want to have her in the mid lane. These creeps are worth so little now. that you have to push the PA into one of the lanes, which is still normal. As opposed to the super creeps.
Not ideal. And then if she goes to the jungle again, you kind of fear for her because she's gotten picked off there 3 times before. So she goes off on her own and they catch her out with the Naga sleep or something, and then the team comes and she doesn't have the BKB. It's pretty much game.
So I kind of want to ask you this question, because this is now 2 days in a row where we've had an SF build into a Daedalus. Is this the new thing? Like, is this the most common item to pick up on an SF when he looks for his first damage dealing item?
When you don't have evasion, yes. And I love butterfly too at the same time, but it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be more tanky and survivable? You want that evasion? Or do you want to do the maximum amount of DPS, which is your Daedalus? So I think in this case he's like, all right, our PA was supposed to be our damage dealer, but now she's not. So now I have to figure a way out to do that and hope that we can blow them up fast enough.
I'm watching this Clinks with a double damage rune. But yeah, I can understand it from that point of view. Like, you actually want to be a killer and not just that guy that stands there going, I used to be important until I bought Butterfly as opposed to Daedalus.
Yeah, I've seen Shadow Fiends go Refresher, but this is not the game. There's too many Glimmer Capes.
Clock. Gonna hook forward. Need that Shallow Grave. Actually, forced off the melee creep out. That wasn't intentional, but either way, the Clockwork dies himself because of it. And now Ash gonna jump in deeper, find the Skywrath Mage. There's no Sentry Ward. Now there is. They'll end up revealing up that Skywrath Mage and dewarding the Sentry that was down from Union Gaming. And with these 2 hero pickoffs, we should be looking at a bottom racks, because there's no Clockwork, there's no Skywrath, and no buyback from either. Hence, none of those 2 heroes will not be here.
Yep. And looking at Ush, he picked up his Shivas before this. It's gonna be really hard. Oh, he's going for it.
Actually jumping in. Clink's coming in from behind, and well, that means IX Mike 88, the curse will lock him in position, but they've lost their Phantom Assassin on the back line, and Clinks just wants to beat through the Shadow Fiend, able to do so. The BKB will protect him from the ulti is now live, and yeah, they just called GG. This game is over. Mischief able to get it. Too much momentum, too much power, and power which cannot be answered by Union Gaming. Game number 1 goes the way of Mischief.
Yeah. Just like half a second too early there at the end. They could have killed the Storm towards the end there, but he had like 14 Bloodstone charges. Would have probably come back in the next 20 seconds. Probably would have lost the fight too. Clinks was in the back line, and oh my goodness, Jubei, what a performance. 006, what a, it's like a boring rice farm game for him.
He was just one of those guys. I felt like those six assists was just because the Radiance was doing the burn. Yeah. Like, he actually probably never attacked a hero himself. But he did what they had to do, and that was probably where you've got to say, Mischief, they played really smart Dota. They understood that they had a really bad start to the game. The SF was flash farming so much, but they realized how they could win. They kept the split up, they got the 2 pickoffs. So you notice, like, every single time they won the fight, it wasn't because they killed the SF.